Meet Gi-hun. He's a divorced dad who loves his daughter, lives with his sick mother, owes money to loan sharks, and has a gambling addiction. After his divorce, Gi-hun's ex-wife got custody of their daughter and left South Korea. One day while waiting at a train station, a mysterious man in a suit challenges him to a game, flipping a card on the ground. Every time Gi-hun loses, he gets slapped in the face. When he wins, he earns money. After several rounds, the man gives Gi-hun a business card with a phone number, saying he can join a competition to win unimaginable fortune. Desperate and intrigued, Gi-hun calls the number and is picked up by a van. He's gassed unconscious and wakes up in a massive dormitory with 455 other people. They're all dressed in green tracksuits, while guards stand watch. As the players get ready for the first game, Gi-hun spots a familiar face, his childhood friend Cho Sang-woo, now called Player 218. Gi-hun and Sang-woo team up with the oldest player, Oh Il-nam, also known as Player 1. Meanwhile, Gi-hun notices Player 67, Kang Sae-byeok, the girl who stole the last bit of money he had. The first game is red light, green light. At first, everyone is excited, but when the giant, creepy doll turns around to call red light, anyone who moves is shot on the spot. Players panic and run, only to be eliminated. Gi-hun freezes and stays calm, managing to survive the game by the skin of his teeth. By the end of the first game, over half the players are dead. The players are in shock after the first game, and many demand to leave. The rules say that if a majority agrees to cancel the games will stop. The players vote to stop the deadly games, and by the slimmest margin, the players are released back to their regular lives. Gi-hun tries to tell the police what happened, but no one believes him, except for Detective Hwang Jun-ho, who thinks the games might be linked to his missing brother. Even though the games are dangerous, most players decide to return because they see no other way to fix their problems. Gi-hun returns home to find his mother seriously ill, but he can't afford the hospital bills. Sang-woo is in trouble for committing financial fraud and wants to escape arrest. The elderly Il-nam wants to die with dignity instead of suffering from his illness. Sae-byeok hopes to bring her family safely out of North Korea. Ali, a kind migrant worker from Pakistan, is desperate to provide for his family after his boss cheats him out of his wages. Meanwhile, Detective Jun-ho sneaks into the games by disguising himself as a guard and learns the horrifying truth. Shockingly, Jun-ho discovers that his missing brother, In-ho, was a previous winner of the games. When rich VIPs arrive to gamble on the lives of the players, Jun-ho secretly attacks one of them and records evidence of the deadly illegal activities. While attempting to escape with the proof, he is confronted by the frontman. To Jun-ho's disbelief, the frontman reveals himself as his brother, In-ho. Betrayed and heartbroken, Jun-ho is shot by In-ho and falls off a cliff into the ocean. Back in the game, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, Il-nam, and Ali team up for the next challenge, where players must choose a shape: a circle, star, triangle, or umbrella. They later discover they must carve their chosen shape out of a delicate honeycomb cookie without breaking it. Gi-hun unknowingly picks the hardest shape, the umbrella. Using his wits and a bit of luck, he manages to complete the challenge just in time. After the second game, tensions boil over when player 101, Deok-su, murders another contestant over food. The guards do nothing to stop him, and instead, they add more money to the prize pot, encouraging the violence. Deok-su realizes that he can eliminate competition by killing others and forms a dangerous alliance with other ruthless players, including the unpredictable player 212, Mi-nyeo. They start a violent riot, attacking anyone in their path. Amid the chaos, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, Sae-byeok, Il-nam, and Ali team up to defend themselves and managing to survive the night. The third game is tug of war, forcing players to team up in groups of 10 to battle each other. Deok-su betrays his loyal ally Mi-nyeo, leaving her behind to form a team with only stronger men. Mi-nyeo ends up joining Gi-hun and his friends. Though their team seems weaker, the elderly Il-nam helps them win their match with a clever strategy. In the fourth game, players are paired up with a partner. Gi-hun teams up with Il-nam, and Sang-woo pairs with Ali. The game turns dark when they are given bags of marbles and told to win by taking all their partner's marbles. The group is devastated as they are forced to compete against their own friends. Sae-byeok struggles with the emotional weight of the task, while Sang-woo betrays Ali, tricking him into giving up his marbles. Gi-hun uses Il-nam's dementia to his advantage, winning his marbles. When the timer runs out, Gi-hun is declared the winner. But Il-nam admits he let him win because they were trusted friends. Gi-hun is heartbroken over his actions and the loss of Il-nam. As the fifth game begins, only 16 players remain, including Gi-hun, Sang-woo, Sae-byeok, Deok-su, and Mi-nyeo. The next challenge is glass stepping stones, where players must cross a bridge made of glass panels. Some tiles are safe to step on, while others will shatter, sending players to their death. After watching others fall, Deok-su refuses to move, forcing the others to risk their lives to test the correct path. Still angry at being abandoned by him, Mi-nyeo sacrifices herself, dragging Deok-su down with her to their deaths. With time running out and the bridge still incomplete, Sang-woo coldly sacrifices the player ahead of him, revealing the wrong path so he can safely cross with Gi-hun and Sae-byeok. Gi-hun begins to realize that his childhood friend Sang-woo will do anything to survive, even betray those closest to him. Unfortunately, Gi-hun's worst fears come true when Sang-woo kills Sae-byeok, leaving only him and Sang-woo as the final two players. The last game is the childhood classic Squid Game, one that Gi-hun and Sang-woo used to play together. Gi-hun ultimately defeats Sang-woo, but doesn't want his friend to die. He begs them both to forfeit the prize and leave alive. But Sang-woo refuses, choosing to sacrifice himself so that Gi-hun can win the money. Gi-hun returns home, only to find that his mother has passed away in his absence. 1 year later, he is a rich man but deeply scarred by everything he has gone through. He refuses to spend any of his winnings. Gi-hun then gets a shocking invitation to meet Il-nam, who surprisingly survived the games but is now on his deathbed. Il-nam reveals that he is the mastermind behind the games, created to entertain bored wealthy people like himself. He challenges Gi-hun with one last wager. Will a stranger help a drunken man before midnight? Gi-hun accepts, and he watches in relief as someone offers help. Il-nam loses the bet and dies shortly after. With his faith in humanity restored, Gi-hun rescues Sae-byeok's orphan brother and places him in Sang-woo's mother's care, giving them both portions of his winnings to live comfortably. Just as Gi-hun plans to visit his daughter in hopes of mending their relationship, he sees someone being recruited for the next Squid Game. Gi-hun, shaken, abandons his plans and prepares to stop the game from continuing.